Hey guys, today we are going to start our work on Eleanor Rigby. Okay, this is going to be at least a two-part lesson for you. This is the prep work that we need to get done. The end result is going to be at least two different, probably three different dulcimer parts. One dulcimer part is going to handle what I'm teaching you today. The other dulcimer part will handle the cello part and all the really cool stuff that comes in behind all of this. I think this is going to be a really neat arrangement. It's going to be worth our time. We're going to need to remember to capo on your first fret. Okay, if you have questions about your capo, let me know and I'll pop you. We can chat back and forth, but I'm not going to go into it too much today because we got some meat on the bones here that we got to deal with. Okay, now I wrote this arrangement out just late yesterday. I have not practiced it, so you're going to see me struggling just like you're going to struggle as we make our way through this first advanced prep work page. So once again, you should have two different pages today for the prep work. You've got a melody only, and we'll address that later. But what we're addressing right now is advanced prep work. All right, we're going to just jump into the hard stuff. All right. Now, I'm going to be counting this out loud for a while because the timing is really kind of weird on it, and I tried to honor some of the syncopation, and then I had to let some of it go to make the arrangement work out. So bear with me. First thing we're going to do is get that 6/4 in place, and I want you to watch how I'm going to keep that 6 in the same place, I believe, and let my thumb do some work for me, as well as my other fingers, as I keep that 6 in place. All right, let's just jump off into the deep end of the pool and see if I drowned or not. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. I messed that up, okay? Let's go ahead and break it down. We needed to anyway. The first line, real slow. I think it's pretty doable. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay? Alright, did you see how I did that? It was my index finger and my ring finger sliding up, my thumb grabbed that 7, and I brought it back down. Okay? Second line, this is what threw me because I was going too fast by the time I got to it. The first measure is pretty simple. 1, and 2, 3, 4, and... Okay? Now, you got to be careful what you hit that 4 and with, because I think that's what tripped me up before. We want to make sure that that 3 in the next measure, that we use our ring finger on it, because we got to stretch all the way up to 5. Okay? So the second measure of the second line. Okay, that's the way that should be played. Watch again. We've got the pull-off hammer. Okay, now you can change those hammer-ons and pull-offs away in a way that match up your playing style. You don't have to do it exactly like I did it. If I put no hammer-ons and pull-offs in there, it would be like this. Except we're going to have to learn to play it this fast. Okay, so you might need your hammer-ons and pull-offs. All right, let's take the first 4 measures again, see if I can get them played in a very fluid fashion for you so you can hear what it's going to sound like without counting. 2, 3, 4. Okay, gang, do as I say and not as I do. because anytime I sped that up, I was messing it up. I am personally going to have to play this slowly and get my muscle memory locked in. You'll notice that when I tried to speed it up, I was using the wrong finger on that first 3, and that was messing me up for everything that came after that, okay? So, take your time. I'm going to have to work really hard on this one myself. I expect that you will have to work really hard on it as well, unless something has happened and you've suddenly become a lot better player than what I am. Most of you are pretty much on par with me. I really do believe that. But I don't think that any of you are any better than I am right now. So we're all going to have to work on this one. All right, let's look at the verse. The B, what I'm calling the B section. Okay, I think it's very doable. And again, remember, today's lesson, this is prep work. This isn't the actual full thing. This is going to get really involved. Okay, the B section, the verse. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That's what that's going to sound like. There's not any fancy fingering that you got to do to make that happen. Just go slow until you get it down. All right? The chorus. We're going to have a huge stretch here, depending on what scale of dulcimer you're playing. Some of you have a shorter scale, it might not feel that bad. For me, it's a pretty big stretch on the fly. We're going to go from 6, 6, 8. Yeah, let me break that down even before I play it. The third measure of the C section down there in the chorus, the 6, 6, 8. Okay, so let me try that real slow. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, so it looks to me like I'm going to lock in my 6, 6, 8. I'm probably going to use my pinky on the 5. And I'm going to try to keep these 6s right where they are until I'm done with that line. Watch again. This is what I think is going to happen when I get to it. Okay. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then we immediately go down to the 5, 4 on the next line. Okay. All right. Oh, I see where the big stretch is. It's the second to the last measure. Oy vey, I thought I had it licked there. I thought, well, that's not so bad. It's a 6, 6, 10. That's the big one. All right. I was thinking 6, 6, 8. Carol, what were you thinking last night? That's not that bad of a stretch. All right, 6, 6, 10 on the very last line. We're going to go 6, 6, 10. 5. That's the big stretch. So you might want to practice that. You're going to go from a 2 down here to the 6, 6, 10. Okay? Now I'm telling myself, every time I try to find my 10th fret really fast, he's this little guy that stands alone all by himself up here. All right? So mine has a marker on it. Yours might not, but he's a little guy. Just remember that your 10 is one of the little guys. All right, before I forget too, anytime you're using a capo on your dulcimer, it's not like any other stringed instrument is played, because usually when stringed instruments have capos on them, the frets get renumbered. On the mountain dulcimer, we don't renumber the frets. So you'll see a 0, that means no fingers down. When I press down on my 2nd fret, I'm actually pressing, I've actually written number 2 on that line. Okay, it won't say number 1, it'll say number 2. All right, I'm glad I remembered to tell you that, because that can get kind of confusing. Hoy vey! That's the second time I've said that. You know that I'm kind of overwhelmed with this arrangement that I've written. All right, let's go over that chorus real nice and slow. Remember to breathe. That's a note to myself. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, try to play the whole thing for you with the repeats, and I'm going to have to go really slow. You notice I'm not using the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to breathe. Okay. Woo! This is really going to be fun when we get this done. All the cello parts, all the chord stuff. Now, the second page, or the first page, however you're looking at them, that I would have given you is the melody-only prep work. Now, I want some of you to work really hard on this because I'm going to need you to really lock that melody in, and there's a lot of syncopation on this version. Okay, so you're going to have to count. All right, let's take it from the top, and I am gonna use the metronome on this one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and I've got my metronome set on 100. Let's see if that's gonna work for me. Here we go. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and chorus. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so your biggest challenge on that is going to be making sure you stay with the syncopation. Now, what I am guessing, for those of you that are going to be in charge of playing this melody only page, As you practice it, you will start to memorize it, and you will have to, you will feel the syncopation instead of having to go like 3 and 4 and all that kind of stuff. So you got to dig in and practice this one hard, folks. This is going to be the coolest arrangement. This is going to be right up there with Dust in the Wind and some of the other longer, cooler versions of songs I've arranged for us. So please dig in on this one, and look forward to spending more time with you on these other versions of this that are going to come about. Again, this is just the prep work today. This will be in the final product, but it'll all be arranged and laid out in a very different manner. Okay? All right, thanks so much for working hard for me on this one, and I'll see you soon.